Hey, hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. And it's time for the weekly track roundup, where I go over what I felt were the worst and the best tracks of the week. They're all listed down below, the ones that I talk about, whether I love them, hate them, or feel somewhere in between. Also linked down below is our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it. Our Patreon page gets some awesome bonus monthly content while supporting us at the same time, access to our Discord community too, and of course a link to our sponsor, as always, good people at The Ridge, still making these nifty, cool, sexy, sleek, metal-plated wallets that fit nicely in your mouth or your front pocket. Hit up that link down below, promo code MELON, 10% off your order, and let's get into the worst tracks of the week. We have a couple to get into, just a couple. One of them being new one from My Morning Jacket, Love, Love, Love. I think this is easily one of the goofiest songs the band has ever released, and this recent string of singles from them has not been great, in my opinion. Just not really seeing the appeal of the new stuff here. On the lyrical end, the vocals seem like a little over-exaggerated in their kind of, I guess, a boomy delivery, and the instrumental has this kind of, I don't know, commercial, lush, psychedelic pop sound to it that, I don't know, I think is pretty uninteresting at this point in the psychedelic field. We also have a new one from The War on Drugs. I feel like this band's music, as they kind of focus less and less on the band being a collective and more of like an abstract and more like a singer-songwriter project. Instead, it's like their sound is getting more and more uninspired. I'm not really caring for this glistening, hugely Springsteen-inspired, middle-of-the-road sort of Americana, sort of not Americana. It's very bland and very underwhelming, and I'm just not really seeing what's so exciting about it. We have the tracks that I was kind of met on. By the way, I Don't Live Here Anymore was the name of that track. The tracks I was met on, middle of the road on, but still worth a shout out for sure. New one from Taylor Swift. She is going to be coming out with Taylor's version of 1989. We have a version of Wildest Dreams here as a result. I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, if you've heard the song, Taylor's pretty much redoing the song, just like she has for, you know, other tracks so far. She's just continuing down this road. It's cool to see her continue to do it. We have a new one from Spirit Box. Their latest LP is out now. The song Hurt You is the one I'd like to point you to. I've been seeing so much hype on the internet for this record. So many people throwing this record at me, telling me I got to check it out. I'm not seeing what's so exciting about it, honestly. It's not bad. I mean, if you're really into alternative metal, metalcore, with a splash of djent in there as well, and vocals that have, you know, not only some really, you know, rough and badass metalcore passages, but also some soaring cleans and everything, some of which have almost a pop flair, a modern pop flair and appeal to them. Check them out. You know, you'll most likely dig the hell out of this record. But I guess I'm simultaneously reminded of some of the more chart-topping, you know, metalcore that came out in the midst of the 2010s. And in that light, I feel like what Spirit Box is doing is just so painfully uninteresting. But I don't know, maybe they could be that band that sort of puts this sound, this vibe back on the map a little bit. I mean, you know, the performances and writing is you know, certainly straightforward and hard-hitting enough, I suppose. But I'm just not seeing what's so, you know, mind-blowing about it, I guess. It's okay. I think it's all right. We have Sharon Van Etten covering Femme Fatale. It's a part of a new collection of Velvet Underground covers. It's going to be dropping soon. This one's pretty syrupy, very slow motion and very loose. Check it out. We have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, another track from the upcoming Rarities collection. This one over here, Earthlings, sounds like almost a, you know, very stripped back and demo-ish, but still, you know, very much listenable. You know, I guess a bridge between like the Skeleton Tree and I guess you know, the Ghosteen era from Nick. It's got that, you know, super big emphasis on the synthesizers. It's very somber. I love the collective gospel-inspired group vocals on the back end as well. Those are pretty great. We have NBA YoungBoy. This new track from him over here, I was pretty curious about since he's had some decent singles as of late, and he had that Tyler, the Creator feature that went over incredibly well. This one over here was okay. On My Side is the title. He has a pretty passionate vocal delivery on it, but songwriting is not really sticking with me. On top of it, it's kind of like a basic piano beat on the production end. Kind of middle of the road on it. Not feeling too strong about it. We have another one from Ian Dior. This one has Lil Uzi Vert on it, and they actually kind of match up vibe-wise pretty well, which I'm liking quite a bit. V12 is the name of this one, I believe, and it's got a solid hook. Again, I think between the trap and the mellow trap and the emo trap inspirations going into both of their records respectively, there's a lot of overlap here. So I think collaboration between these two is pretty natural and pretty fitting. Even though in this lane generally, this track's not one of my favorites. We have another one from Grouper. The title of this one being Ode to the Blue. It's a very low-key acoustic cut. Not super big on the sound play or anything like that, but if you want something that is folky, very slowcore, very, low-key, give it a listen. Give it a shot. And we have one from Bring Me the Horizon, Die For You is the title of it. The band continues to dive deeper into this fusion of metalcore and alt metal and pop music. And, instrumentally and production-wise, I like this track a lot. I actually don't mind the tune either, but some of the very, desperate, I'll put it this way. The more kind of suicidal lyrics on the record seem like, intentionally melodramatic in a way that's a little tasteless. And, not all that great, in my opinion. I guess really kind of on the lyrical end is where I think the song suffers most. But everything else, for the most part, is fine. We have some best tracks this week. The ones that left their mark on me, really impressed me, are as follows. Woo! The first song, the first teaser I'm loving from this forthcoming Xenia Rubinos project, Put Me in the Red, or Don't Put Me in the Red is the title. The vocals on this one are hypnotic. They're bare. They are naked. They're simple but lovely and beautiful. I love the lyrics as well. And the song is really patient. I just love the way it builds up. It's fantastic. I've already heard all the other teasers and didn't care for them quite as much, but I'm hoping that the record grows on me when it finally drops, because I do want to enjoy this one. It's been a while since we've heard a Xenia record, and the last one was quite good. So we have a new one from Wiki. Mike on the feature, Navy Blue on the production. This one over here, he's following up that, that Roof teaser that was really good. This one over here, Promised, is great as well, though much more low-key and introspective. Love it, love it, love it. We have a Snail Mail. Snail Mail is back, and I'm loving that the vocals and the instrumental this time around, we're still doing kind of an indie rock thing, but it's got more bite. It's got more fire. It's got more passion. While I did like the last Snail Mail record, it was very boilerplate as far as a lot of this, newer, garagier, indie rock goes. And this was quite nice. This was quite nice. I liked this a lot. We have a new one from Open Mike Eagle with Armand Hammer on the feature. Grimy banger ass beat in the mix too. It's fantastic. I'm loving that Open Mike Eagle is sounding back in the saddle a little bit on this one. Hell yes. We have Marissa Nadler. This is actually my favorite song from the teasers that she's put out so far for her forthcoming record on Sacred Bones. If I Could Breathe Underwater, Mary Lattimore on the guest vocal as well, which is lovely. Loving the very thick instrumentation on this one. Marissa herself sounds like a siren calling me, hypnotizing me with that wonderful voice. It's great. We have Makthaverskan. The Swedish band is back with a new one, a fiery one. I think actually some of the best writing they've had hook-wise in a while. This Time is the title. It's a little, kind of shoegazy, jangly, and but it's got kind of a driving punk spirit to it as well. Give it a listen. All right, we have Magdalena Bay, Mag Bay. You Lose. Damn, this one is grimy. It's driving. little bit of an 8-bit flair to the synths on it as well. Good hook too. It's like if they could have, taken their futuristic synth pop inspired sound, but almost do like a bit of a grunge take with it, but without it, sounding like it's trying to, force any kind of shitty grunge nostalgia on you. So yeah, this is great. Loving it. We have Lil Nas X, Montero, new record is out. Dolla Slime, Megan Thee Stallion. It's a banger. I'm not going to say too much more than that, though. You can expect my thoughts on this record very soon. We have, Kehlani. This is my favorite Kehlani song so far. Alter. I think this is one of her best vocal performances on a track. One of her best beat choices as well. It's super woozy, lush, and a little hypnagogic, and a super great tune to it. As well. I don't really have any issues with this track. I mean, not that I've ever hated Kehlani's music, but I've usually just been kind of neutral on her stuff for the most part. But this was a standout moment in my opinion. This was standout. We have a James Blake, beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful James Blake with a great song as well on here. It's very simple, very synth heavy. Very minimal, especially on the front end, but James' voice just kind of, works wonders over this synth passage. Famous last words. I'm very excited for this record. Like every teaser for it has been fire, and I think it's going to be his best, if not one of his best. All right, we have Hatchie, an artist that I'm just hearing about now through this track. It's got a kind of a nostalgic 90s flair to it, but it's kind of bringing a few different worlds together. There is a strong, classic dance pop element to it that I'm liking a lot, and then it kind of shifts suddenly into like a dance/shoegaze passage that is also epic as fuck. And it's done really well. I'm liking the hook as well. It's really impressive, kind of the fusion of sounds from that era on this one, and just how fantastically they're performed and pulled off. So yeah, we have Adia Victoria, a Southern Gothic. The new record is out now. The song I want to point you to is "You Was Born to Die." It's bluesy. It's got a nice groove to it, and all the guest vocalists on it too pull off the song very well. And I don't really have too much to add outside of it. Sounds like just some very good modern blues, but with kind of almost like a dark, ominous art rock kind of flair to it. I'd say liking it a lot. A Southern Gothic. Check out the new record now. And that has been it for the weekly track roundup. You're the best. Love you. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. And remember everything that we talked about, it's linked down below so you can check it out for yourself. See you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, forever.